Hey Falcon fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome into today's video. Here's the deal. The Falcons still have some holes on their current roster, and they don't have a lot of cap space to fill those holes. However, they're able to move some money around. I'm going to give you my list on today's video of 5 free agents I think the Falcons should go ahead and take a look at signing, potentially before the start of training camp in order to, again, fill the holes which we all understand are on the roster. Let's start with the biggest hole, and that, of course, is defensive end, right? We talk about defensive end all the time here on the channel, and you guys know, right? The Falcons pass rush, it's been terrible. Well, there are a couple of names you go ahead and sign. We've talked about them both here on the channel. First is Melvin Ingram. Now, Ingram is, let's be honest, coming off the worst year he's ever had as a pro. He's had a bunch of knee injuries, and that's been the issue with him throughout his entire career since being drafted in 2012, is that he can't stay healthy. And so you sit back and you go, well, then why would the Falcons want him? Because, listen, if he could stay healthy, big if, which you'll see is a lot of things we're going to say with all the players here, the big if they do this, then they could be good. If he were to stay healthy, he's versatile enough on the DMP's defense in order for, I think, the Falcons to get some success out of him in terms of being a pass rusher. And that's the real deal here, right? Like, what would success actually look like in terms of actually contributing from a defensive end perspective? Now, if Dante Fowler balls out and he plays really well, then Falcon pass rush will be a lot better than we expect, because Grady Jarrett's obviously going to be pretty darn good. But if Dante Fowler doesn't play well, then this pass rush is going to be as bad as we expect. They're not going to be able to get up to the quarterback, and the defense as a whole will go ahead and suffer. Let's say you could get 2019 Melvin Ingram in a Falcons jersey here in 2021. Look at these numbers. Like, these would be pretty darn good. In only 12 games, he had 7 sacks. Again, this is 2 seasons ago. This isn't like 2015. This is 2019. He had 7 sacks, 48 tackles, and 12 quarterback hits. And that's, again, still in 12 games. And so when I get asked all the time on Twitter, people DM me at @RealThomasMod, what about Melvin Ingram? I say, listen, Melvin Ingram could give you, a full season. He's an absolute must-have, but there's just no guarantee you could actually get a full season out of him. But I do think the right price, he is a name that you would have to take a look at right now if you are Atlanta, just based on the fact that, again, that Falcons depth chart is bleak, to say the least, from a pass rusher perspective, unless Dante Fowler plays well, which, again, is a big, big if. What do you guys think? The Falcons need another defensive end. Do you think that they do? Type Y down below for yes. You think that they do not? Type N down below for no. I think most of you guys will say why, but I'm curious. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, now Melvin Ingram is good when healthy. Let's go to a person on my list of 5 here who has been healthy and good at the same time. So if you don't like Melvin Ingram, then might I present to you Justin Houston, who to me is the best person on this entire list and the one player on this list I think the Falcons 100% should go ahead and sign. Not only has he had 19 sacks in the past 2 seasons, he's played every single game the past 2 seasons. Literally 32 games in 2 seasons with Indianapolis. The guy has been a consistent force on the football field. The only reason I can figure out why he's still a free agent is he wants too much money, which again is a problem with the Falcons. They don't have a lot of money overall, but still, if they could free up a little bit of extra space, bring in a guy like Justin Houston, this pass rush becomes way, way better. I mean, look at this. He had 11 sacks in 2019, but in 2020 last year, 16 games, 8 sacks, 25 tackles, 12 quarterback hits. Come on. Imagine taking that and inserting it alongside Dante Fowler on the Falcons' front 4. Be fantastic. I think both of these guys need to be taken a look at. But again, the fact the Falcons have not signed either one of these guys, they've been free agents for months now, tells you a lot that they maybe just are either too expensive or the Falcons are just not interested. But I would love to have Justin Houston. Drop a like if you guys agree. Right? If you guys think that they should go ahead and get Justin Houston, give this video a thumbs up, because I think most of you guys will agree that the Falcons do need help at the defensive end position. All right, we're going to keep going here. 4th of July is just a couple of days away. It's Sunday, which is crazy to think. Get your fireworks here quickly. Although, if you want to pick up some elite 4th of July Falcons gear, we have you guys covered right now at chatsports.com/Falcons USA. And Falcons USA is your / That link will be down below me in the description box. And you're ready for 4th of July while also repping your Falcons. You can not just wear it on 4th of July, you wear it all year long, right? A ton of different t-shirt options, a ton of different styles, sizes, men's, women's. You guys see it up there on your screen. They also have shorts and jackets, because the cold is going to be coming here pretty soon for a lot of you guys up there out north. All of them are limited editions and limited time sales, and they're going to be gone here pretty quick, so pick them up as quickly as you can. chatsports.com/Falcons USA. That link will be down below me in the description box. All right, let's move on to some more free agent names the Falcons could go ahead and take a look at signing right now. They could use a corner, and there are a couple corners who are available, but there's really only one that to me would be worth actually spending money on, and that is Steven Nelson. Now, you could look at a guy like Richard Sherman, and I've talked about Sherman on the channel. I wouldn't mind Richard Sherman, but I don't think he wants to play with the Falcons. Steven Nelson, however, still a young guy, less than 30, could be, in for a long-term deal and would be a great nickel option for the Atlanta Falcons secondary. Now, again, he is primarily a slot cornerback, but he's a really good slot cornerback and was considered one of the better ones months by Pro Football Focus next year. The problem and reason why the Steelers cut him because he wanted more than $8 million a year, which is a lot of money. And again, the Falcons don't have that money. They have to free it up somehow. But if you could go and find a way to get a guy like Steven Nelson, it frees up a lot of questions we have at cornerback, right? Because we understand that Sheffield's going to be cornerback 2 opposite most likely A.J. Terrell, because he was the first-round draft pick last year. But if Isaiah Oliver is really moving to safety, as the Falcons have hinted at him doing, then you don't really have a slot cornerback, right? Like, who's going to actually go ahead and be the slot cornerback on this roster? Nelson would instantly win that job and would create a very good nickel package overall for the Atlanta Falcons. He was great last year as well. 15 games, 2 picks, 48 tackles, 9 passes defended. I mean, that is a very good stat line and one that would greatly improve and help out the secondary. I think the secondary is going to be better than people think this year because I think A.J. Terrell is going to take a big step forward and become a true number 1 cornerback. But at the same time, it is still very thin, and they are extremely thin at cornerback. And the question is, do you want to play a rookie, or are you going to play, is Oliver going to move back to nickel? These are questions we don't know yet. They'll be answered during training camp. But Nelson's out there, still remains unsigned, and to me, would be a very good addition. Okay, let's move over to a very controversial player who I didn't want to include on this list because I don't like him, but I think the Falcons could use him, and that's LeVeon Bell. Now, we talked about LeVeon Bell here on the channel and how, hey, listen, Bell spent the last 2 years with the Jets, and then he was over to the Chiefs, and now he has beef with head coach Andy Reid, and ever since he held out in 2018, Bell went from being a 1,000-yard back to being like a nobody, and he hasn't really been able to go ahead and resurrect his career. The only reason he is on this list because the Falcons' running back depth chart is atrocious. Like, it's terrible. You guys know that I hate the Falcons running back depth chart, and that even though Mike Davis seems like a cool guy and he loves the city of Atlanta, I don't trust him to be a 300-plus carry workhorse, 20 carries a game running back for the Falcons for 17 games. Like, I don't. And if he is able to prove me wrong, just like Dante Fowler, I will more than welcome and be happy, and I'm pumped if that happens. But the odds of him actually being that big of a bell cow, to me, is very slim. Now, not like LeVeon Bell trots in with a great resume over the past couple of seasons. Last year, 11 games, 82 carries for 328 yards. That wouldn't get the job done. But maybe a change of scenery and a team that believes in him from a rotational back perspective could be a nice, I think, career refresher for LeVeon Bell. That'd be the hope, right? You bring in LeVeon Bell to revitalize his career and squeeze out 1 or 2 more, maybe vintage L. Bell seasons. I think the health is fine. It's just a belief factor in getting on a roster that doesn't have a lot of players in front of him, right? You talk about playing for the Chiefs, there are a lot of running backs. Clyde Edwards-Helaire drafted in the first round last year who were taking a lot of the snaps away from LeVeon Bell. And so I think that Bell would be an addition I would listen to at the right price, as long as you could guarantee me there's going to be no drama, although, again, drama with Andy Reid, which is crazy to think about. So Bell does make the list simply because he's the best running back available. There aren't a lot. I'd rather have him than Todd Gurley based on the fact that Todd Gurley's knees, as we all know, do not exist. All right, final player here. Talked about him a couple days ago on the channel, and that is David DeCastro, the recently released guard by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, we got to go quick here on DeCastro because, honestly, he's made the bottom of my list because I don't think the Falcons are going to sign him. Now, the report is that he's been battling an ankle injury and is mulling his future, so he might just retire, which means the Falcons could not go ahead and sign him. But as we talked about on a show just a couple of days ago, the Falcons are dealing with an undisclosed Matt Gono injury. We don't know how long Gono's going to be out or to what extent the injury is, and so if you need to fill a hole at left guard, DeCastro is the best available on the current market. There isn't a lot, by the way, in terms of actual availability on the market. Now, again, if Gono is going to be good to go, then I don't think you need to go ahead and make a run at DeCastro, and plus, again, DeCastro might just retire, so by the time you watch this video, maybe he has already retired or signed elsewhere. But let's just say Gono is out for 6 games, or is out for 8 games, or is out for the entire season. Like, we still don't know what the injury is. It's ridiculous that reporters have not been able to find this out. DeCastro is a Pro Bowler. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time All-Pro. On the wrong side of 30, but still, to me, seems like he has a lot left in the tank. I'd be all for bringing in a guy like David DeCastro at the right price, and if he wants to go ahead and stay in the National Football League, which, again, remains the big question in terms of his future. All right, there are my 5. Now, there are others that we could list here, but these are the top 5, I think, in terms of positions of need for the Falcons in terms of guard, wide receiver, defensive end, and cornerback. Or sorry, not wide receiver, defensive end, running back, and cornerback as well. Name a player you guys want the Falcons to sign. Maybe they're on my list, maybe they aren't. Like, I want Justin Houston. That's of this 5, give me Justin Houston. But I'll wait and see your guys' thoughts here down below in the comments section as well. All right, ultimate word today here on Atlanta Falcons Today, as we jumped on to give you guys the 5 free agents the Falcons I think are in the best spot to go ahead and sign. Again, will they sign any of these players? We'll see, but if they do, we'll have a full coverage here on the channel, so make sure you guys are subscribed, because as soon as you release a video, it gets put in your mailbox or into your inbox or subscription box, whatever it's called on YouTube, and then you get the latest and greatest Falcons news and rumors. Trying to get the 3K subs at the start of training camp, go down below and hit that subscribe button in order to help us be able to grow as quickly as possible. All right, ultimate report today here on Atlanta Falcons Today. I'm your host, Thomas Mott. We go ahead and sign off. Stay safe out there. Have a great rest of your week. Hopefully, you're enjoying your July 4th weekend as well. Have some fun with the fireworks. Be safe out there as well. Again, I'm Thomas Mott, signing off to the rest of your day.